Hey everyone, I'm Chad Stewart. I'm a software engineer from Kingston, Jamaica, and I wanted to talk about your why. Why are you in the tech industry? What drives you to continue to be in the tech industry? So I kind of wanted to talk about that, mainly because I had forgotten mine, and I had forgotten mine for a very long time. So a bit of backstory. I had done this work on quote unquote figuring out my why maybe 2 or 3 years ago while I was working. Um, Mainly because I just kind of like I had kind of come across this article and it had motivated me to dive deeper into coming up with your why, and it's mainly through me kind of being haphazardly moving through life. And so, I kind of wanted an anchor point, and that's kind of like how I work, right? Like, it's I'm very good at working from a place of knowing, right? And so I spent a lot of time sitting down and trying to figure out what my why was. Spent a lot of time. So I came up with all of this stuff, and I went back to work, and then as you know, the pandemic hit, and it was kind of chaos for a couple of months. And for me, what I had left my job maybe a couple of months, like 2 or 3 months before the pandemic hit, and so it was pretty much chaos for me. And then I was just like, okay, I'm going to try and get another job. And then slowly, I'm going to try and get another job to like, I really need another job. And that became the my all-encompassing goal. Get a job, get a job. Everything I need to do is to get a job. You know what I mean? Um, so I should talk about my why. My why personally is to push the software engineering industry forward. Um, Now I'll admit it's not the clearest thing, but it's kind of like I just love software engineering. I love it a lot. I enjoy this industry a lot, and I like a lot of the things about it, and so I kind of want to contribute to it, you know, as best as I can, however I can, right? Um, so I had written that down, and the reason why I'm describing my, what my why is because I wanted to make the point of, all the things that I was doing, focusing on, oh, I just need to get a job, I just need to get a job. While it technically does have something to do with, oh, moving the software engineering industry forward, it's it's not directly that, and it became such like a it just became a thing that kind of took over my life to the point where it's like, oh, I just need a job, and then I would apply, and then I'd get rejection emails, and I was just like, man, I can't get a job, and it takes a toll, right? It takes a toll, and after a while, I found that I wasn't going anywhere. I was spending so much time trying to get a job, and I learned a lot in my job hunt. I spent so much time trying to get a job that I forgot to grow in the thing that I was interested in, you know? And that's you don't want to be in that position where you forget why you're here. You know what I mean? Like your why is really going to to drive the decisions that you make, and it's going to continue to drive the decisions that you make. It's probably the most important resource that you can have, or resource, but the most important piece of information that you can have, because it makes a lot of the other things that you have to do a lot easier, you know? So, like, for instance, drive the software engineering industry forward, right? If that's my why, then all of a sudden decisions became much easier. Like for instance, I'm making this YouTube video, right? Like making YouTube videos become much easier because I immediately know what the subject matter I want to cover. You know what I mean? Like, it makes making decisions so much easier because you know what you want and which direction that you want to go, right? And I feel like that's just really important to have, you know. So I want to talk about what happens if you don't have a why. What if you just kind of here to, I don't want to say to mess around, but what if you're just here because you were just interested in the industry and you wanted to explore? Well, to be fair, that's your why, because you just wanted to explore, right? So I would say if you don't have like something super concrete where it's just like you have this ridiculously inspiring goal that keeps you in this industry, a good substitute is to explore, to learn everything you can. That's a great substitute. You know, I'm going to be here in the software and engineering industry to learn absolutely everything I can about tech for whatever reason. Maybe I'm trying to learn it because it's fun, or I'm trying to learn it because I'm curious, you know? But I think that's a good substitute. Just, I'm going to learn everything I can about the tech industry because it's fun. Because, for whatever reason. And it, again, it makes decisions really easy, you know? Okay, if I want to learn everything I can about the software industry, software and engineering industry, what do I do? Well, what you could do is, well, what you could do, like what you would do is like, okay, start networking with people who just knows more. You know, start talking to them. They know more than you, so they'll be able to tell you, you know, more about the industry. You'll learn from that. You know, maybe start trying to read more articles about the industry. You'll learn more. Or maybe start reading docs, or start delving into a technology that you already know, or you don't know any technologies. You know, pick one and delve in and dive into it. You know what I mean? Like, the point of having a why is it gives you a focus point, a way, like, it's a guiding light. You know what I mean? So where there's so much in the industry that you could possibly do, if it doesn't fit your why, then you probably shouldn't do it. Or if it doesn't neatly fit in your why, well, if it doesn't fit your why, you probably shouldn't do it. And if it doesn't fit in your why, you definitely shouldn't do it long term. You know what I mean? Like, you want to focus on things that fit your why, you know? So the reason why I brought up the substituting of just exploring everything you can, because in that you'll probably run into something that inspires you and makes you want to stay in the industry, you know? Like, you probably run into, say for instance, you just like writing code. You find that writing code in and of itself is really, 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 really fun, you know? And so now your why is, I just want to be really, really good at writing code. And so you spend a lot of time writing code. You spend a lot of time writing code in different languages. You spend a lot of time using different tools, you know, and you spend a lot of time reading about different tools. And this is like, that gives you a direction, right? You may find that you like making money, you know, in the industry, or you want to make money for whatever reason, maybe to to pull you out of poverty. And by the way, don't let people shit on you for for wanting to make money. That's a perfectly acceptable reason to be in the industry. Hell, it's a really good reason. There's a lot of money in the tech industry. But maybe you want to make a lot of money. So even that, something that I was thinking about is, if you wanted to make a lot of money, how would you go about doing that? Well, you would focus on a technology that that is in wide use, that a lot of people need, and people will pay good money for. And then what you would also do is start investigating other technologies that may potentially, you know, lead you to making a lot of money. And then learning that and positioning yourself in a way where, you know, when you that you can kind of um take advantage of that financially. You know what I mean? But, you know, all of that is to say that once you kind of have a thing that a guiding light, like I said, it makes your decisions easier. It makes your decisions significantly easier to make. And you may even find that one of the things that you learn is that you don't necessarily either want to be in the tech industry, or you don't even necessarily want to be you don't necessarily want to be all that technical. You may want to kind of be in the industry, but you don't necessarily want to be all that technical. You don't want to be an engineer writing code, and that's fine. That's fine too. Like, there's a lot of opportunities in the industry there's a lot of opportunities in the industry for people who are not technical. Like project managers, even though they should have some technical experience, they're not the person writing the code. They're not the person producing, you know. But like I said, it's really important to kind of have your why, to have the thing that's guiding you through the industry, because there are a lot of things that can take up your time, and you can delve into those things and become really strong in those things, but you find yourself, sometime later, that you haven't moved forward, and because it's not pushing you in the direction of why you would do these things. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch this and kind of listen to me kind of babble along about these things. Thank you very much. If you like this video, please give this a like. And I hope to see you again. You have a good one.